Hello, I am in fact recording this part in the future, which weird considering that's going to become, first in the video, but I would like to point out that, yes, I'm making this video because I heard that you made it because of Ivix, but I'm not making this video on the request of Ivix. I'm making this video just because you're an idiot. But please understand that whatever Ivix is going to do, if he makes a video response to you or anything, that's on him. I'm not making this because of his request. I'm doing it on my own.
Grim, I kind of wish you were here for this one.
Well, too bad. You're stuck with The Rock.
So, according to this, Goku is not actually universal.
Yes, according to this, he isn't. No, I know the video you're responding to. I myself responded to it as well. And I've talked to the person and come to an understanding on what he has to say. I sure hope you yourself are able to at least try and figure out what the person's trying to say and not throw out cliches. But I know you're going to disappoint me, aren't you?
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Kind of wish you were here for this one, Grim. You'd probably get a kick out of this one. This was definitely more power stealing than it is memorizing facts.
I keep hearing about this Grim fella. Who is he? Why isn't he here? And as far as the memorizing, he's not so much going off what the show goes. Ivix likes his math, and it makes sense from that point of view. In fact, even from a narrative point of view, what he has to say makes sense. I didn't agree with it at first, but after a minute of thinking about it, it slowly started to click to me. Just because someone's stronger than somebody who's planetary doesn't automatically put them at a large planet, no matter how strong, much stronger they may be. It's not guaranteed until it's somewhat stated.
He probably shouldn't count any higher, so he just said immeasurable? Yeah, pretty much. Alright, so let's see. This one I right off the bat, if you could see, this one's got a ton of dislikes. Now, here's the thing though, let's give credit to the guy. Maybe he has some good points. I highly doubt it, but maybe he does.
Thank you for at least being fair. Yes, the dislike to like ratio doesn't necessarily mean anything as far as comparing characters and what they can do and all that. For example, if someone really likes a character, they're not going to want to hear that they're going to lose a fight to another character. Just like when you sit there and say this character can destroy a meteor versus this character can destroy a planet. It doesn't matter if they can or can't. If you like them, you're just going to go with the highest factor you can. Now, this isn't always the fact, but for a lot of characters, a lot of fan bases, especially like the Dragon Ball one, this tends to be the case.
Alright, so Dragon Ball fans have been using Dragon Ball Super to claim that Goku is universal level. This is because Dragon Ball fandom is obsessed with Goku being as powerful as possible. That's not false. The Dragon Ball fandom is absolutely obsessed with Goku being the literal strongest incarnation of any anime hero ever. That is definitely a fact.
Thank you for admitting that right off the bat.
Instead of focusing on artistic merit of the show, Dragon Ball fans focus only on the power of the characters. They routinely make the following 5 arguments. Okay. Let's check it out. Skip. Oh, argument number 1. When Goku and Beerus fought, they created waves that could destroy the universe. Yes, that is correct. Next time, Grim. Definitely next time we'll do that. When Goku and Beerus fought, they created waves that could destroy the universe. They did. Alright, so let's see this. The starting point of the waves is when they are most powerful, because of the inverse square law, wave intensity decreases the further you get from the source. Correct. Since the epicenter of the waves didn't destroy Earth, the feat is below planet level. Old Kai states that the waves became more powerful as they traveled. For energy of a system to increase, there must be a transfer of energy. The waves gained energy as they travel. This means that whatever energy they have when they are far away from the epicenter is not because of Goku. Okay, but to say that, though, you also have to then state what is then giving these waves of energy more energy as they travel away. You can't just say, oh, it must not have been from him. I don't know where it came from, but it must not have been from Goku.
Do I have to explain to you how a wave works? I mean, there's plenty of energy out in space. I mean, I know you probably don't think there is, but there's plenty of energy out there to be picked up from anything that's moving, especially other waves of energy. It tends to stick to each other and go with itself. It's a weird thing, but it's something. There's definitely energy out there to be picked up from something like that.
So, Don't get me wrong, using the inverse square law is that's not bad. I did not see that coming.
Would it be immature of me to say that's what she said?
Using the inverse square law actually isn't bad when it comes to an argument for that. However, it's not entirely plausible.
What do you mean it's not plausible? You can use the argument, therefore the argument is plausible.
Because, I mean, let's go back to even the very beginning of Dragon Ball, right? So in the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z,
there was nothing, and then God said, let there be light.
Piccolo was able to destroy the moon, making him, planetary level.
My friend, that's not even a small planetary feat.
Especially for the fact that he was weaker than Vegeta at this point, right? And Vegeta, at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, was able to destroy planets with literally like 2 fingers.
So I'm guessing you can verify that planet was considered normal size? I mean, he stated in his fight with Goku that he had to use all of his power to destroy the Earth, so... And if Earth is a small planet, then we definitely have a problem here.
Again, Frieza also being able to destroy planets with a single blast. Grim, appeal to reality fallacy? Yes.
Damn it, Grim, you're late. You're fired.
Also true as well. But, let me explain it in a way without just naming the fallacy, because if these characters are able to destroy planets at such an early stage, literal, basic logic would be able to tell you that if Goku is already, even after base, at a Super Saiyan level, if Vegeta, at a way, way weaker point in time, was able to destroy planets, and then we're all the way fast forward to the Frieza saga where Goku is exponentially stronger, and then has a 50 times multiplier on top of it with Super Saiyan, he's very clearly planetary level at this point, far beyond that.
All I got from that was much. Just a lot of much. He threw a bunch of words out expecting them to mean something. It means nothing. You can be 50 times stronger than planetary and still not be large planetary. In fact, you're not large planetary just because you're 50 times planetary. And again, that's assuming that Vegeta is planetary. For all we know, he could have only been small planetary at this point.
So, why would going into God form, which is leagues above even Super Saiyan 3, which is 100 times stronger than Super Saiyan 1, 50 times 50, so no, not 100, you know what I mean, which is exponentially stronger than Super Saiyan 1, why would he still just be planetary level?
Where did you get 50 times 50? And the multipliers for it is Super Saiyan's 50, Super Saiyan 2 is times 2 that 50, Super Saiyan 3 is times 3 that 50. So Super Saiyan 2 would be 100 times your base. Super Saiyan 3 would be about, if I done my math right, about 200. I don't know, I'm not the best with math, but the point is it's not 50 times 50.
So this is the same, a lot of people use this argument. I forget what the term is called, but it's destructive force versus, I think it's like destructive reality, or I forget the terminology for it, but just because someone is planetary level, universal level, whatever it is, doesn't mean everything they do ever will always cause the destruction of everything. So, because if that were the case, Goku simply powering up would destroy Earth every single time he powers up.
Not necessarily. If it takes all of his power to destroy something, then he would be in fact that level, but doing anything in general would not destroy that thing. So.
Like, you can't use that argument because then it would have to apply to literally every single thing that these characters do.
How did you do that? How does that make it? You get to decide what it means by that. No. As I pointed out in the last argument, no. That's not how that works. Just, at this point, I can just say no.
I mean, it doesn't... Attack potency! Thank you, Lau.
Oh, trust me, I'm no stranger to attack potency.
Attack potency versus destructive potency. 2 totally different things. Thank you.
I mean, yes and no. They're definitely related. I mean, you can't have the attack potency to destroy an omniverse and yet only have the attack capability to destroy pebbles. And the two have to be at least somewhat close to each other.
Power output and attack potency. Thank you. I couldn't think of the term. But yes, so this argument is flawed for one, like he said, appeal to reality.
You don't know what that means, and neither do I. Next.
And 2, attack potency versus, actual destructive capacity.
The two still have to be close to each other again. Next.
two very different things. So let's keep going. Although, again, to be fair, not bad using inverse square law. A lot of people wouldn't know what that is. So let's keep going. The waves are only shown destroying a distant planet. They're even shown passing by a star, and the star is completely unharmed. The Kaoshin planet, where the waves are the farthest from Goku, and therefore at their strongest, is also completely unharmed. This means that the waves, when they are far away from Goku and Beerus, are planet level at best. Not entirely true. That planet could have had a weaker structure than the planets that passed later. Like, you know.
I think you broke this one, Ivix. He completely forgot that he's trying to argue that Goku is universal, and yet he just sat there and said that the only reason why the waves destroyed this planet is because it was weaker than the others.
I mean, it could be something as simple as an explanation as that. Obviously, that's not actually the explanation. But again, this doesn't take into effect attack potency versus destructive capacity. Planet level waves radiating outward would damage the universe beyond repair and would kill most life in the universe, since the definition of destroy is to damage something beyond repair. Then every other characters who say universe will be destroyed aren't contradicted.
It is possible to destroy something by just making it unbalanced. Like, if you can make the universe unbalanced, you could destroy it. This doesn't necessarily require universal levels of power, just the ability to unbalance the universe, which if characters are at star level, they should be able to do.
Yeah, so I mean, this all boils down to he wants the literal thing of them saying, oh, this could destroy the universe. He wants it to say, oh, it actually destroyed the universe, otherwise it didn't happen.
He never once stated this, and the only reason why I even care about this at all is because you're about to use the argument to straw man so many times and get each and every single time wrong.
Yeah, Toriyama isn't a physics professor. This guy, like, he stated it because it's true. It doesn't mean that he has to show the effects of it happening every single time. Like, again, no one's gonna say that Goku isn't planetary level. So, let's put it this way. Goku has yet to actually destroy a planet, right?
Okay, are you all focusing? Okay, you're about to see a real straw man in action.
Like, he hasn't actually done it. Vegeta has. Piccolo has. Goku hasn't actually destroyed a planet. That doesn't mean that he can't. Also, people like to say attack potency versus equal durability. That's a good point. He has? Wait, so when has he, Arama? Maybe I'm forgetting one. I can't think of a time that he has actually by himself destroyed a planet, though. I can't remember, but if you can tell me. And so since chat's delayed, we'll keep going, and I'll read your chat, but we'll keep going.
Still gonna hold on to the argument that he asked specifically to see Goku do something. Okay.
The Namek Saga? When did he destroy a planet in the Namek Saga? Frieza blew up the planet, though. Goku destroyed the... When did he destroy the planet? Yeah, but he didn't do that. But Frieza did that. It was Frieza's attack, not Goku's. Now, obviously, theoretically, if he was able to reflect that power, that means that he could then do it himself. But again, that's where we're trying to appeal to this same guy's logic. It wasn't Goku's attack, therefore Goku doesn't have the capability.
No, my friend, he never said that. That's the argument you made in your head, aka a straw man.
Like, that's what I'm saying. That's how inane this logic is. Is because it wasn't Goku, means it couldn't possibly mean... That means Goku possibly could not be planetary level, right?
But he does think that Goku is at least a large planet at this point.
Right? Like, that's the logic. That's the logic that this guy is presenting. That's what I'm saying. Because it wasn't Goku's attack means it couldn't possibly mean Goku is not planetary level.
You can only make the same mistake so many times in a video before it just becomes the biggest joke of your video.
Like, that's this level of logic here that this guy is using.
I'm gonna say it one more time, that is not his logic, that is your logic. If you could stop trying to force your logic onto other people, that'd be great.
Dragon Ball fans often claim that the reason the waves didn't destroy the Earth is because Goku is nullifying them with a key control cushioning effect. Okay, whoever knows what the fuck that is, but...
I'm sorry, what? You're talking on this as a Dragon Ball fan and you don't know what that is. It is what it sounds like. It is a cushioning. It is Goku nullifying his energy. What?
No, that's irrelevant. That's, again, it's just attack potency versus destructive capacity.
I've already explained to you why the two have to be at least relative to each other.
This contradicts Kai's statement that the waves became more powerful as he traveled. Goku is nullifying waves thousands of miles away from him on the other side of the Earth. He isn't manipulating wave lights. He isn't manipulating waves light years away. Goku's nullification isn't a bubble that encompasses a vast distance. The nullification described is not because of key control. Yeah, this is all just basically to say that I don't understand the meaning versus attack potency versus destructive capacity.
So let me get this straight. Goku can only nullify the waves so far from him. And your argument to this is, you just don't understand attack potency. That makes no sense.
Argument 2. Goku shook the infinite nothingness of the world of void, making him universal. Okay, so let's address this one. Let's see what he says about it first. Shaking nothing means zero energy. This isn't a feat. There's nothing else in the world of void to shake besides the bleacher seats and the fighting stage. There's nothing to shake. Shaking infinities does not yield infinite energy. In real life, gravitational waves shake infinite space, superior to shaking infinite nothingness. Since gravitational waves travel outward forever, this does not yield infinite/universal energy. First of all, infinite energy and universal energy aren't the same thing.
Thank you, I'll take that as a victory.
The androids have an infinite pool of energy. That doesn't mean the androids are universal. Infinite and universal are not the same things. So, having infinite energy doesn't mean universal.
Yep. Where are you going with this?
Yeah, okay, so, Arama, sorry, am I not explaining this correctly to you?
Mate, you haven't explained anything at all.
Yeah, yes, Arama, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is, like Grim said, if we're using this guy's logic, is it wasn't Goku's attack, so therefore Goku didn't do it, therefore Goku can't actually destroy a planet. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, when it comes to this one, infinite doesn't mean universal. The androids have infinite energy, doesn't mean that they're automatically universal. If your infinite pool of energy isn't universal energy, or doesn't have the capacity to be universal, then you just have infinite energy. You could have infinite planetary energy, great, doesn't make you universal.
Once again, you're the one arguing that they all are universal. If you could stick to your argument, that'd be great.
Goku overcame Hit's time skip, proving that he is 4D. So, I mean, no. So if that is an argument that people are using, that one actually is not a good argument, because it is stated in the manga. Yeah, he literally wants a scan of Goku busting a planet.
Usually I don't go for ad hominem attacks, but I should point out at this point you sound like a smug asshole. And I say that just because this is now, the 5th, 6th time you have used the strawman argument that he wants an actual seeing of Goku destroying a universe. He never made that argument. Stop it.
Half of infinity is still infinity! Yes! Yes! Comment of the fucking day!
Or it's 0 because you can't defy infinity.
So this one is a good one, because this is not a legitimate argument. Goku overcame his time skip, proving that he is 4D. That's not a good argument, because it is stated in the manga, if you consider that to be canon, and in the manga, or in the anime, even though they didn't explain it well, they do kind of allude to the same fact. Hit's time skip doesn't work as effectively to those who have higher power levels than himself.
Thank you for conceding point 2. Usually I would skip ahead to point 3, but you say some really dumb shit up ahead, so I'll see you there.
So, it was simply the fact that Goku had a higher power level as to why Hit couldn't exactly affect him as well with time skip. Now, obviously, once Hit raises his own power and improves, then he was able to control Goku in the time skip a bit longer, but also explains why Jiren himself could also not be affected by a time skip as well. So, SOL, it's an inside joke. Time travel in media is a hack, so nothing to do with the energy output or dimensional level. For example, Goldo is not 4D. Yeah, and that's correct, but no one is equating the fact that Goku being able to beat his time skip makes him universal. He was long universal before this.
You're the one making the claim, actually prove it.
They say in Dragon Ball Summon that his time skip doesn't work as well in characters equal or greater. Yes, to his power, correct. Goku uses a time machine to travel through time. Goku's never been shown to freely move through time at will. It is hypothesized that objects exist in real life that can permit time to travel. They are called cosmic strings. They are 1D objects, not 4D. Again, though, no one is saying that he's universal because he can affect his time skip. They were just saying that he was able to. Now, if someone were to say that he's beyond time because of this, then yes, that is definitely an irrelevant argument. There are different degrees of infinity. For instance, 3 is an infinity transcendence above 2. Grim, fuck off.
Damn it, Grim, didn't you hear me the first time you fired? Get out.
I mean, you're not wrong, but still. Vegeta destroyed the hyperbolic time chamber. This shows that he can bust dimensions and use universal. Okay, so if this is actually a legitimate argument, then that's also pretty much... That's not a good argument either, because Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks was actually able to poke holes in dimensions, and so was Buhan was able to poke holes in dimensions. This was long before Dragon Ball Super. So if this is an argument, that's also an irrelevant argument. So this guy has so far has brought up 2 arguments that definitely do not prove that these characters are universal. However, even before they accomplished these feats, these characters were universal long before these things actually happened.
What?
So, yes, he is debunking an argument, but it's also kind of a straw man, because he's debunking an argument that doesn't in any way try to prove that they are universal. So it is legitimately a straw man, because he's like, oh, this argument number 3, yes, this isn't valid. This, therefore, then proves that he's not universal. That is the textbook definition of a straw man argument.
Now, you might be wondering, what is this? Well, this right here, my friend, is the definition of a straw man fallacy. So as you can see right here, the definition that you have is wrong. In fact, it is so wrong, it's actually laughable. I've stated it multiple times in this video. I have proven multiple times in your own arguments where you have used the straw man fallacy. So if you can look at this and figure out why you're wrong, then that'd be great.
So argument number 4, Vegeta destroyed the hyperbolic time chamber, saying that doesn't make him universal, is also textbook straw man argument. Yes, the fact that he destroyed a hyperbolic time chamber is not relevant to the fact that he's universal, because these characters were able to do this at Super Saiyan 3 level with Gotenks in Dragon Ball Z Saga. So, again, yes, not a good argument, but 2, also a straw man argument, so. You think Hit got more powerful, or he improved time skip ability, because he said that when you fought against Goku, he never said that he was trained to get stronger? So, I mean, it could be one of 2 ways, Kingdom, because he could have also improved time skip just by improving the ability by himself. But if we're going by the logic of the Dragon Ball manga, then it has to be that he increases ki or power level, because that was the only way that he could affect someone more effectively with time skip. HCC is stated as Earth size by Goku, hyperbolic time chamber. This means that the feat is planet level. Well, again, see, this isn't planet level though, because they were able to poke holes in dimensions long before this, and they were long since power level. This is just a different feat. This could be questionable like interdimensional feat, but interdimensional feat isn't the same thing as universal. So these are still just 2 totally separate things.
Thank you. Now, if you can address the people who are making these points to say they're universal, that'd be great.
Vegeta destroyed the dimension. He simply appeared outside the chamber after he had destroyed the inside. Piccolo even says that Vegeta forced his way out, not that the dimension was busted. How did Vegeta appear outside the chamber? In Dragon Ball, it's shown that high levels of power can rip holes in dimensions. Exactly. Buu and Gotenks. That's actually Buhan and Gotenks. Oh no, that is Super Buu, Buhan, and Gotenks, all 3 of them. Portals between dimensions are not universal, or else Scorpion from Mortal Kombat is universal. So he's saying it here himself. Portals don't make yourself universal. So why is he trying to debunk an argument that has nothing to do with being universal?
Because people are using the argument to say that they are.
See, do you see what I'm saying?
The only thing I'm seeing is that you don't know what you're saying.
His point is way too late at this point? No, exactly, Bio Rider.
I think I'm gonna sit for a minute to try and figure out how a point can be late.
Like, he has strayed from his points.
His point was these characters are not universal. So far, he has proven his point to a somewhat reasonable degree, you, my friend, have proven that you were a baboon playing with his own shit.
So someone watching this would be reading arguments 3 and 4 and agreeing to the fact that they are factual. However, agreeing to facts 3 and 4, it doesn't make them non-universal because it's irrelevant to them being universal.
Unless they themselves use facts 3 and 4 to prove that they are universal, in which case it makes 100% sense and it does work.
He even states it himself. Portals between dimensions are not universal, so why is he bringing this up as debunking a non-universal feat and saying that that makes them non-universal? So, like, again, it's a straw man fallacy.
And this right here is why you have earned everything that I said, every insult, everything. You've earned it. That, once again, is not a fucking straw man fallacy. Yes, I'm getting angry because I love words and I love the art of debating. You have sullied both of these things with one sentence right there.
He is debunking because some people use it as arguments, but if these people are using it as arguments, then he can debunk them, saying that these aren't universal, but they're not. You don't need to debunk them in terms of proving that they're non-universal. Well, I don't know. I guess that's, if people are using this, then they are also straw manning, I guess.
You cannot make a straw man argument by simply making an argument, and you cannot make a straw man argument by debunking someone's argument. That is not a straw man in any sense of the word. For the love of God, go back to school.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you don't.
It could be seen as it could be seen both ways, as either them straw manning because portals are not dimensional, or I guess he's bringing it up, maybe he's not the one doing the straw man. It's kind of weird because I'm watching it from him doing the debunk and him doing his argument rather than from two people making the argument and one person being called as a straw man. Kind of hard to tell which one's doing the straw man here, but again, these aren't exactly relevant to being universal.
And at this point, I can only say, at this point, you have committed to a fallacy of your own. Another one besides just straw man. You have now committed fallacy. I know that sounds mixed up, but it's basically when you rely on fallacies in order to make your arguments. And that whole thing was just you saying straw man fallacy when there was, in fact, no straw man fallacy.
Jiren was stated to be the most mightiest foe Goku ever faced. Since this includes Infinite Zamasu, Jiren is universal. He calls Goku star level? Well, that's stupid. He's definitely more than star level.
I'm so glad that didn't require any more thinking. Nope, he's just star level right off the bat. Nope, definitely more than star level. Did not need any more evidence besides that. You said he is, therefore he is.
Jiren universal. Since this includes Infinite Zamasu. Okay, so that's not the reason that Jiren is universal, though. Jiren is universal because he's far stronger than God Goku, who was already universal and who has been exponentially stronger since Tournament of Power.
Hey, you focusing here? Yeah, you forgot the point where you prove that he is universal in the first place.
Essentially, the word Midas is used. Might can be defined as bodily strength. Infinite Zamasu is non-corporeal. Yep, he is non-corporeal, being who doesn't have bodily strength. Goku never directly faced Infinite Zamasu. Infinite Zamasu is a non-corporeal being. Goku was able to harm Infinite Zamasu as he is non... I'm going to stop saying that. Zeno had to be summoned to kill Infinite Zamasu. Gowasu said that Infinite Zamasu might be trying to become one with the universe, not that he had taken over the entire universe. Infinite Zamasu is only shown taking over the Earth, not taking over the entire universe. Zeno destroyed the universe not because Zamasu had taken over, because Zeno doesn't care about collateral damage. Infinite Zamasu is not universal. Yeah, so... like, yes, and also no. So yes, Infinite Zamasu is not universal. But Infinite Zamasu is universal, but not because he became a non-corporeal being. Infinite Zamasu is universal because at the point that they're at, Super Saiyan Blue is leagues above universal at this point, and Infinite Zamasu was stronger, or even Merged Zamasu was stronger than Super Saiyan Blue, therefore Infinite Zamasu was already universal.
See, I can disprove that with one point. How strong is Zeno? Most people would say multiversal. What is leagues above universal? definitely above multiversal. So what you're saying is true, and Super Saiyan Blue is above multiversal. That would put him above Zeno. In which case, I don't know why Beerus would be afraid of him, because Beerus would be stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
And so for Jiren being stronger than Infinite Zamasu by being the mightiest foe, he's then clearly still universal because he was already above Zamasu, who was universal to begin with.
At this point, I should point out we're over 20 minutes into your video, and you have yet to even try and prove at all that these characters are universal, except saying that they are.
But see, Rexall, wasn't he saying that after it was merged Zamasu, not when he got split? Yeah, like Infinite Zamasu is a funky one because it doesn't state strength. He just merged with, like the universe. So like his energy, his being went into the universe in a way that doesn't really state power level so much as states a feat and an ability that they didn't have.
And at this point, I feel it's very necessary to throw you a bone just to take it away. Who beat Infinite Zamasu, by the way? And that's right, it was Zeno. Goku and Vegeta couldn't even touch him, so even if we were to say that Zamasu was universal, this just proves that Goku and Vegeta are not, because they couldn't hurt the guy.
God Goku at the movie wasn't universal. Beerus and Goku punched combined was indeed universal. But remember when they punch, it wasn't, their powers didn't combine when they punch. So when you punch things, like, so the energy has to be transferred, right? You're not creating more energy when you're hitting. When you're punching, the energy is then dispersed. That dispersed energy was then universal. But
I was unaware that the energy from a punch shot out in a shockwave usually just goes up your arm and up the arm of the other person if you were to collide like that. So, what?
But even if he wasn't universal at Battle of the Gods, he had to have been universal by the end of it. Or by, tournament of power level.
I don't quite understand your they must be.
And, again, they were both holding back, like they said. Goku's not universal level. If any other characters had these feat statements, nobody would accept them. Fans of Dragon Ball are so upset with Goku power, they pick and choose what they want to hear to make Goku as overpowered as they can, and they ignore what they don't like. In reality, through scaling the Beerus, Goku's star level in Dragon Ball Super. Star level. Okay, see, that's ridiculous. Like, come on. Even if you want to say, like, a statement like this, what bothers me about a statement like this is so obviously just trying to be a contrarian, just to be a contrarian. Like, you're going to be like, oh, look how fucking smart I am.
You just used the word fucking contrarian, and you're going to sit there and talk about other people trying to sound smart.
I'm just going to say that he's star level. Wow, like, that's so cool. No, like, it's not the same thing, because...
The same thing to what?
He's so clearly above. Like, basic logic would tell you Goku is not star level.
AKA, I don't feel like making an actual argument, and I don't feel as though I have to.
And yes, Grim is correct.
I'm pretty sure I told Grim to fuck off.
You can't scale just their punch to be the total output of their power. Remember, if we go back as far as original Dragon Ball Z, punches and kicks didn't affect Raditz from Goku or Piccolo at all, right? But whenever they were able to charge up their attacks, like Special Beam Cannon and Kamehameha, their power level skyrocketed as they were using these abilities. So his attack potency could still be leagues higher than his punch, which it more than likely is.
Would now be a bad time to point out that most people don't even consider Raditz to be small planet.
Even if their fists were combined energy, let's remember it was a punch, and then we're using ki. Exactly. Infinite Zamasu was appearing through the time bubbles or portal, Goku and Vegeta original timeline, so that would mean that he was somewhat of a universal feat. Oh, you know what? I did forget that he did go through Time Kingdom. That's a good point. He says maybe with the guides sell a solar system level? That's stupid. Yeah, so, I mean, again, a statement like this, that's the problem, is like, a statement like this is so clearly just to be contrarian, you know? Like, you're gonna be like, oh, look how fucking smart I am. Obviously, just trying to be a contrarian, just to be a contrarian. Like, look how fucking smart I am.
Look how fucking smart I am.
Oh, that was funnier than it should have been.
You know, like, he just wants people to be like, yo, man, you're so fucking smart. Yeah.
Look how fucking smart I am.
Oh god, my sides make it stop.
No idea. You're right, Goku is just star level, when he's clearly leagues above. Like, there's no way that the progression throughout the entire Dragon Ball history, when they were able to destroy planets at the level of Dragon Ball Z, at Vegeta, not even, like, fucking Frieza Saga was able to destroy planets.
How big were those planets?
That leagues above this, way more than 50 times stronger than that, they can't destroy anything more than a star.
Yes, because 50 times planetary is still not star level.
Like, that, again, that's so many levels of contrarian.
Well, that's the end of your video. Usually I leave it with me saying Ken out, but I think I'm gonna leave it with a little bit of YouTube poop.
Oh, look how fucking smart I am. I'm just contrarian just to be a contrarian.